some Glad wrap and just tuck it all in.
Glad wrap?
Belly.
I didn't wear my corset today.
It's like DIY Spanx.
Because I'm trying to like respond so you
trying
guys
to
feel
yell-
comfortable
so you're
and
not,
like give you cues. Yeah.
the whole time. A cost-effective alternative to the Bondi bin. It had to be really rugged and sturdy and refurbishable to appeal to councils. It needed to be sub 2K and it had to have a similar look and feel to our Bondi bin, but with a bit of a twist to it.
We wanted to make sure it was rugged and durable. These things go out into the public space where they're really quite vulnerable to being roughed up, so to speak. So I wanted to make sure that whilst looking for cost effective, that we maintained durability and structure of the bin. And we just wanted to have a bit of wow as well. I think when people say cost effective, they feel that some of those things might get compromised. And so we just wanted to make sure that it was a really nice bin and that it didn't speak to a dollar value. It actually just had a really nice aesthetic there, so that you were happy to put it into the public environment and have it there. So yeah, it threw up a good design challenge. I think to kind of achieve all of those things puts up a fun little design exercise.
It sort of evolved as we went along. So we started with something that looked a lot like the Bondi, and we ended up with something that that has its own personality. And I think that came about from for me, it's kind of this, like when you're working to a brief like that, the functional requirements and the pricing requirements often inform the look of the product.
The look of the bin, we wanted to make it, in simple terms, not too fussy. So just some clean form. So looking at kind of simple geometric shapes, and some adding some nice radius to those in it. So yeah, it was really, I guess, a fuss-free design and trying to achieve a nice look through not kind of getting too complicated. Yeah.
Create this seamless look on the outside, and so in trying to create that seamless look on the outside, you're sort of thinking about all of the junctions and how things are going to come together, and you're mindful that welding's expensive, so you don't want to use welding, so you start to end up with you start to look for innovative solutions, and so I think that sort of has added to the aesthetic of the bin. Things like the way that the lids kind of open up and we pop them in to the side panels, and we've got those slots to receive the tabs for the lids, so that when you're looking into the bin you don't see that. The way that we've integrated the chute into the body panels to pull that cost out, things like that, which give the bin its own character, and it's not necessarily a straight design decision. So it's a decision that you're making based on pricing, but it's giving the bin its own character.
Amongst the team, we came up with a bunch of new methods in which we manufacture in order to achieve that. So I think we really challenged ourselves this time and said, let's not do it the normal way, whilst also maintaining tried and tested techniques that we had confidence putting out into the market.
A lot of people still gravitate towards the linear perforations, so we wanted to sort of keep along those lines, but do something that felt a little bit fresher and more contemporary. So we've done that by introducing gradients and having sort of, how do I describe it? It's really hard to, introducing gradients, having kind of irregular patterns, mixing up lines with squares. And I know it sort of sounds a little bit boring when you put it like that, But the reality is that's kind of what people are buying. So we're sort of working within that, but trying to make it look fresh, and also I think to fit with the character of each bin. So a lot of the perforations have come about for a particular bin.
So we worked a lot with testing various gauges of material to really understand the limitations of where certain thicknesses could take us. That was a way in which we could find that balance of durability and not breaking the bank, so to speak. So yeah, it's a lot of time working with that, which was good and gave us the outcome that we need.
What we've been realizing more and more is how far we can push the sheet metal bending and folding process. And it's not just Noosa, but I think certainly for Noosa and a lot of the bins that we're releasing, we've done some really cool things with the sheet metal componentry and really pushed it to its limits. In
our mind, we had at a price point that this bin really needed to be at. So in order to do that, material choice and manufacturing choice was going to be really key in controlling how we hit that and maintain that price point. So we didn't go the traditional way of starting very conceptually with sketches. We worked out which materials and fabrication processes were going to allow us to hit this price point, and then from there we took it to the sketch point of view. Where all of our designs start, it's all just pencil and paper. We sketch up these designs, doing our best to not limit kind of conceptual development by saying it can't be made in this way, but also having that balance of knowing which processes we were going to go down, and so which types of forms were going to be achievable. And I just started creating some different sort of linear drawings of different lids and forms. And so say I'd had about maybe 25, 30 different linear drawings of different hoods. And as you start to play, you start to sort of get a feeling for the bin and what's working and what isn't. And you find that you kind of go off on tangents and ultimately that's, I think, how you end up with something quite interesting. Feels like a modern kind of tech lab or something like that, something where they may be doing some interesting scientific stuff, like a modern day tech research lab or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why, but that's kind of what I think of.
No,
so
fine.
hopefully there's a science tech facility that wants some bins out the front.
And then it's also just, how can we make this bin super duper versatile? I think that the 3-panel design is really innovative because it pulls a huge amount of cost out of the product. Integrated chute, something that we've done previously, but integrated chute plus 3-panel plus interchangeable hood, I think makes for a really fresh, interesting bin.
Variety of hoods that we've come up with. So in order to create a really diverse bin and diverse from the ranges and styles that it can tie into, from pairing with other products or working with existing forms that are on site, we've designed a series of different hoods for this bin that allow you to change up the look whilst maintaining a common base element, which means that without having to do lots of different design, we're able to give this bin lots of versatility in the projects that it can go into. My favourite thing is the interchangeable hoods, and I really love lean hood. So that's I think it just looks really modern and fresh, and I can see it at Barangaroo. I can see it in a lot of contemporary landscapes. And it was fun to work on the different designs. My favourite thing about this bin is the interchangeable hoods, or the variety of hoods that you can select from. It's such a simple element from the function point of view of the bin, but I think what we've come up with gives 3 really different kind of value propositions or or functionalities to the bin. And so I like what that's done, that multi kind of function from a relatively simple concept, really kind of gives this bin that versatility.
The thing that excites me the most about it is that it's a sub 2K bin, which doesn't look sub 2K. It looks extremely solid and sleek and streamlined, and yet it's under 2K. So I think that's what excites me about it. I know that's a funny thing to get excited about, but but I think what excites me about that is how we got there, basically. So there was a lot of design thinking to get it to that sub 2K, and there was a lot of innovating to get it to the sub 2K. So I think that's kind of the exciting bit for me.
Beautiful.
The success of the end result has come from the team working together. It was what we really wanted to do when we started this process for all of these bins, was to make sure that everyone was allowed to really kind of flex their ideas. And so there's a couple of features in this bin, which I mentioned it before, where we're really challenging what we do, and by I guess opening our minds to doing that, we've been able to achieve what we have. So yeah.